Gotta get more followers.
Everyone, today's video we're going to be talking about day trading expenses, but beyond the normal stuff. We all know the day-to-day normal expenses you incur. A lot of traders out there kind of get a little surprised once they really get into day trading and realize all the different expenses that you might run into. So let's cover some of those. A little bit about my trading background real quick if you're new to me and my channel. I started trading futures contracts in 2020. I spent several months leading up to that, learning, researching about the futures markets, funded trader programs, trading methodology. Started my YouTube channel later 2020 to show my evaluation progress, passed several trader evaluation programs. I could talk about those at the end of the video. Started my website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca in 2021, passing on information to newer traders, all the stuff I had to learn the hard way. I was trying to share it with the masses. Launched a trading course late 2021. It is on my website. It is free. Everything on my site, on my channel, anything I touch is completely free. I'm not here to sell you anything, just trying to pass on the good information. Past trader evaluations of various companies, I already mentioned that, in excess of 1 million. It's like 1.7 million now. And I have not had a, in quotes, real job since 2007. Real job meaning, I work for somebody else, I have to go to an office, any of that. 100% sort of self-employed work for myself, no one to report to, and love it. Real quick, look at my website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. I keep up to date on all the latest promos and discounts on the funded futures trader programs, as well. I have written reviews of them. I have my free futures course, as I mentioned, information about trading software. I run a ton of articles about futures markets, so check that out. If you want to be notified of any hot new deals out there, you can sign up for my super secret elite notification club. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any point if you want to. So before we start, so trading is not easy. I think we all know that. Most people do fail at trading. Check out those disclaimers at the beginning of the video, all about how you will probably lose all your money trading, whether it's futures or other products. I don't sell anything, already mentioned this. I'm just sharing information, hopefully helping out other traders based on what I learned. When I first started trading, it was real difficult to sort of weed through the nonsense and people trying to sell stuff. So I kind of went down the road of just sharing that information to others to hopefully help people out. So the purpose of this video, or kind of the genesis of it, was that I really find that I see a lot of newer traders. They often seem quite surprised by the fees and costs involved with trading. They really don't realize that there's not just one or two, there's several expenses. Some are optional, but recommended. Others are just, you are going to have to pay those. So let's cover them. Software, the big one. Usually a one-time fee, and now I'm coming from the world of futures trading, so a lot of these will apply more to the futures trading realm. A few examples here: NinjaTrader, popular trading software. It's $1,300 US for a lifetime license. I know, I own one. It's an expensive hit to take. If you use other supplementary software, that can cost money too. Another example, I own it, Jigsaw Day Trader. I paid $595 for a lifetime license. I mean, the good news is, it's a lifetime license. There's no sort of annual fee related to those. The bad news is those are, some hefty prices to pay up front, especially if you are newer to trading. There's often also other fees attached to those. So I'm going to use Jigsaw as an example. This isn't a data fee, but to actually operate Jigsaw in its full capacity, I have to pay an additional $50 a month in order to trade directly on the depth of market. Now, some of these software, I'm going to say NinjaTrader specifically, have the option to spread the payments. So it's $1,300 lifetime, or you can pay, I think it's over 4 months. It might be 3 months. It's 3 or 4 months you can spread that payment, but still a hefty price to pay. So next one, data connection. Again, more futures trading related. So in the funded futures programs that I kind of touched on, where other companies are providing the funding to you, some of them have a one-time fee once you pass, usually several $100s. Usually the bigger the account size, the more that fee might be. And it can be hundreds of dollars, like approaching $1,000. Pro, it's a one-time fee. Con, it's a big hit to take. You just passed a trader evaluation and now you're going to shell out several $100s. The other model that some companies use is a monthly fee. It's usually between $80 and $120, depends on the company, and that's per month. A little bit cheaper up front, but also you're going to be paying that every single month that you're funded with the company. So good to know about that. If you're on your own, though, let's just say you have your own brokerage account out there in the futures world. I know I have two. You have to pay for data and for market depth. You can pay for all the exchanges. It's usually a bit of a discount. I'm going to use NinjaTrade brokerage as an example. I pay 35 a month. It's like 32 or 35 a month for data for all the exchanges. So to see that market depth, that level 2 information, and to have my super fast CQG connection, $35 a month. This is one of those fees that kind of gets the surprise I find from newer traders, especially in the funded futures world, just that monthly ongoing fee. They aren't necessarily expecting it. Now, it's not that the companies hide these fees at all. They're on the website, but sometimes you have to dig in and actually research and read kind of the rules once you're funded. Now, commissions. I'm going to say the hidden expense. It's not so hidden. I think everybody understands on a conceptual level you have to pay commissions, but where they get surprised is how quickly they can add up. So when I use commissions, I mean all the fees combined that are on a per transaction basis. So it's not just the broker's commissions. I'm talking about the NFA fee, the exchange fee. So all rolled in together, it never looks too bad. It'll be like a few dollars per trade. But then you start doing some math. I'm going to use an example here. So that's per contract. So for example, I trade 10 lots, 10 contracts of the Ultra Bond. Well, all of a sudden, my commissions are $35 a trade. Win or lose. Double whammy. You take a losing trade and you're going to pay $35 for the ability to do so. So, I mean, it's just part of the game, but those can add up. If you start taking a lot of trades, those people that really just in and out, those really do add up quickly. I've heard stories, I've seen screenshots of people where they had on a gross level, they had a winning trading day or winning trading month, but because they traded so much, the commissions outweighed any profit they made trading the actual products. So, let's say they make $3,000 in gross profit from their trades, but they spent $3,500 on commissions to do so, because there were certainly lots of losers in there as well. So my advice on that is just don't overtrade and be aware of the commissions and fees. You'll learn really quick once you start trading what type of trader you are. And when you get that report at the end of the month or just day to day following your P&L, if you find yourself trading your heart out only to break even or to come out a losing trader because of commissions, then it's time to do something about it. So journaling. So this isn't one that's required. You're not going to have to pay for journaling software, but I do highly recommend it. It's one of those expenses that I feel like is worth and will actually really benefit you for the $20 or $30 a month. So journaling software isn't so much of a Dear Diary type of journal. This is one that you will import your trades. They either happen automatically or sometimes you have to download like an Excel file and import it. But basically it'll give you full ability to analyze all your trades, look at your statistics. You can write notes on each of your trades, but where I personally feel like the benefit is it digging into all those stats. And you can really analyze your performance. You can see things like what's your win-loss ratio, what's your average winner, what's your average loser, which products are you most profitable at, what times of day are you most profitable at. You could also maybe, let's say you have 5 different trade setups. You would tag each of your trades based on the trade setup. Well, now you can dig in, maybe one day's data isn't that exciting, but after a month, after a year, you can look back at all your history and you go, oh wow, these 3 trade setups are accounting for the bulk of my profit. These other 2, out of them, one's a loser. That's the type of stuff that you really can't get if you're just trying to roughly keep track in your head. By having the actual stats, especially over time as you accumulate a quantity of trades, invaluable, I say, well worth $20, $30 a month. I think if you're serious about trading, it's just mandatory. Like, it doesn't even go without saying, but I don't see a lot of people going down this avenue, and it's a little bit disheartening. So I do encourage you to look into some journaling software. So another optional one, VPS, a virtual private server. I mean, the range of expense can be anywhere from like a cheaper one, $20 a month, to over $100 a month. The one that I use is, I believe it's like $80, $85 a month. If you're not familiar with virtual private servers, it's basically a remote computer that you're logging into. You might be saying, why would I want to do that? I have a perfectly good computer sitting right in front of me. Well, a few things. So for Mac users like myself, if you want to access to a Windows machine, virtual private server works out fantastic. Most trading software is Windows-based first, and then there's some that is Mac-based, but things like NinjaTrader, 100% Windows-based. So if you want to be able to run that, you have a few options, but one of those is virtual private server. You can log in from your mobile device, so I'm not a huge mobile trader, but if you are, you could log into the VPS from a mobile device. If you log in from many computers, like I do. I have two different computers I use, my laptop and my desktop. So by having the VPS, I'm essentially teleporting myself to this virtual machine out there in Chicago where my VPS is located, and I'm always working off the same desktop. So it doesn't matter which computer I'm on, I always have the exact same desktop for trading. That can also benefit you. I mean, I don't often mention it, but from a licenses standpoint, like you don't need multiple, like say NinjaTrader licenses for different machines, etc. Performance-wise, you can have a very high-speed VPS machine. So for example, the one that I use is tailored towards traders. The machines are super powerful. Like I mentioned, the one I use is located in Chicago, so it's very close to the CME, so you get lightning fast executions. There's some benefits there. And then also it takes the burden off your local computer. A lot of traders, can't afford a super expensive, tricked out computer. They're maybe using a cheaper laptop. Well, if you try running, NinjaTrader and throw on Jigsaw with that, it's just going to completely burden and slow down your machine. But by using the VPS, you run the very sort of light load VPS software remote desktop on your computer, teleport yourself to that other computer, and it's the machine that's actually running and doing the heavy lifting. So it kind of gives access to powerful computing without burdening your local machine. So educational expenses as well, I highly recommend, but right off the bat, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here. I do not recommend expensive courses, gurus, trade rooms. I'll throw in like indicators, etc. There's a million people out there wanting to sell you very expensive stuff that they will tout as the key to kind of getting rich in trading. And it's just not true, unfortunately. So don't recommend any of those things. What I do recommend is books. Embrace learning. I have another video. It's all about, top 5 recommended trading books. You can also just Google this stuff and find that. Invest in yourself and in learning. I'm not going to say every single course is junk, but I will say 99% of them are. Like, you're really going to have a tough time finding a valuable course. I also come from the frame of reference that I self-taught myself how to trade 100% for free. Digging in on YouTube, now it took a bit of discretion because I really had to weed out who was talking nonsense and who was, just trying to sell a course and who was actually providing useful information. And I encourage you to do the same. So be a little bit skeptical, but that information is out there. I've yet to hear of a course, of a guru, of a trade room, of an indicator package that actually made someone a great trader. Like, it just doesn't happen. All the great traders I know got successful by putting in the hard work, working on their trading emotions, and being committed to becoming a better trader over and over and over again and staying on that path. There's no shortcuts to being a great trader, and all that other stuff that I kind of listed off there feels much more, it's of the shortcut variety, and it's just not going to get you there. If you're going to spend $1,000, $2,000 on a course, on an indicator, on trade room, whatever, honestly, I feel like you'd be better off opening a brokerage account. You can open an account for as low as $500 and just dink around with it. Try it. You might lose your $1,000, but guess what? It was probably better spent, and you probably learned a few things more so than you would from any course from a guru. So some final points. So while individually those expenses might seem small, you might be thinking, oh, big deal, a few books, a $30 journaling, who cares? They do add up, especially some of those initial ones I mentioned. The software, the commissions will catch you, they will blindside you. So they do add up. And if you're a smaller trader, they make all the more difference because it's not like there's a discount on NinjaTrader or Jigsaw just because you trade smaller size. So for example, if your goal is to make $1,000 a month, but you're paying like $300 a month in fees, whether it's, commissions, and you're prorating your software and your data, and you sign up for trade journaling, etc., that can be an expensive hit to your P&L. So just be aware of that. As I mentioned, some of those expenses were completely optional, but I think as you grow as a trader, everything I listed there, I actually highly recommend. A few of those things you can certainly wait. You might not have to jump in and buy the expensive software right off the bat. And you could limit your trading so you're not eating up and chewing through commissions. And maybe you don't jump into trade journaling from day one. You wait for a few months to get profitable. And same thing with the VPS. Maybe you're okay with your machine and you can hold off on that, and maybe you just never need it at all. I've given you the list of expenses, the ones that I often see catch people off guard. You know what they are. Each person can kind of budget for them appropriately. There's my information, website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca, social media on my website. My main focus is on funded futures trader programs. We didn't really talk about those in this video. Basically, companies out there where they will provide funding for you to trade futures markets. All you have to do is pass an evaluation, show that you are a competent trader. A lot of benefits to those. Speaking of expenses, some of them will give you a free copy of NinjaTrader. There's even one that will give you a free copy of Jigsaw, etc. So there's actually some benefits beyond the funding they provide to traders. You might get access to some of that free stuff as well. Check those out though. That's all on my website. I have reviews. I have discounts to all the companies. Also, I have a free futures trading course. Everything on my website is 100% free, guys. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm not here to sell anything. Just trying to pass on the information that I've learned over time. So with that said, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.